Hi, welcome.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thanks. So, Lindsay, I'm Alexis.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So just before we get started, sorry, the wind. Just before we get started, I wanted to talk about confidentiality, just get it right out in the open in the beginning. Everything that you say in here will stay in here unless I feel like you're in danger or you're in danger in someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. If it starts to come up or you start to like disclose anything that maybe I feel is towing the line, then I'll remind you of that so you can be aware of whatever you're gonna say. So I was reading some things and it was just, it kind of gave a little brief overview, but what brings you in here? What do you think?
Well, I'm here because the state is requiring me to be here. A while back, a domestic violence case was opened with my boyfriend, and then recently my daughter was at school and mentioned that her dad had been touching her. And so, according to the state, since we don't know if it was her biological dad or the boyfriend, then we're kind of having to go through the motions to figure out what's going on.
And you're expecting?
Yes.
So, how old is your daughter, son? The one you have right now?
7.
Oh, okay, daughter.
Yes.
And what's her name?
Ashley.
Okay. So Ashley's 7, and then how far along are you right now?
7 months.
Okay. So, you got the domestic violence case before Catherine was born? Or after?
Before?
Okay. And that was on Catherine's dad?
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you stayed with him, you were young?
Yes.
How old were you when you had Catherine?
15.
Okay. So, you were with him, you stayed with him, you had to open order of protection, which you were looking out for yourself?
Well, my mother made me do it. She told me if I didn't get the order of protection on him, then she would kick me out of the house.
Okay. So your mom made you open the order, and has it been broken since then, or has he been abiding by it besides visitation or anything?
Yes, and our mothers do the switch off because of the order of protection.
Okay. And you still feel like you feel good about that choice, or is there something that you would do differently?
No, I think what we have in place right now is working well. I do think that the order of protection maybe isn't necessary anymore, but we're just kind of keeping it in place.
Yeah. And you feel like you guys are co-parenting well?
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes it has its tough times just because of the time that she spends with him and the consistency piece of it all, but we are pretty much on the same page for the most part.
That's good. That's really good. That's not always the case, so
Right.
I'm proud of you guys for being able to do that. And so now you're with your new boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And do him and Catherine's dad get along? Do they interact at all?
There's no interaction.
Okay. And he's safe?
Mm-hmm.
Because Catherine's in your guys' care most of the time, 50-50? Full time your house, visitation at dad's house?
Yes. Yeah, so most of the time she's in our care.
Okay. And there's no problem. I mean, there's always problems, but there's no
right. Yeah.
No
big issues.
Okay. And what do you think? So you mentioned that the state is making you come here.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing that good for you for coming. Some people don't always come and follow through.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that you're concerned about your daughter's safety and well-being. Yes. And so, what are your goals for coming here? Like, even if there's no small goal, there's no...
Right. Well, right now, I was recently in a car wreck, so we don't have a reliable vehicle, and I'm also unemployed because my doctors put me on light duty. Um, so one of my biggest goals will be to figure out the financial situation as far as bringing in more money, whether I have to wait till after the baby's born. And obviously, when I find a new job, then I'll have to worry about transportation. So those are kind of two things that are on my radar. But of course, I'm also coming here because I also don't want to run the risk of the state removing my daughter from my home or my baby after the baby's born as well.
And so, what are the main concerns with the allegations? Because there's two dads.
Right.
And so, what would you say is like the biggest concern, since she's not saying which one?
I think the biggest concern is obviously figuring out who did it and then dealing with it once we know who it is. I don't have reason to believe that it's my current boyfriend, and I don't know if if I'm around her dad enough, obviously, since we don't see each other with the order of protection to be able to determine if it in fact is him. But I don't have any reason to believe that it's my boyfriend that I live with now.
Yeah.
And obviously the school made the report, and but I do think sometimes we have to take what kids say with a grain of salt, and so I'm wondering if maybe the school overreacted a bit.
Well, it's good that the school's looking out for your daughter, even if some things sometimes are taken out of context or misconstrued, but it's always good to err on the side of caution. Sorry. So you said that it couldn't be the dad, and I can see that it's weighing on you a little bit heavy. How are you handling the stress of the case and caring for your daughter and also being pregnant?
I think I'm overwhelmed with everything that's going on, especially because of the financial aspect of things and not being able to work, and transportation is hard. So having to figure out how to get here and to get around and make sure that I'm, getting to the store and keep getting groceries in the house and all of those things. And so I've had pretty high stress levels, and so I'm trying to figure out how to balance all of it, but it has been hard.
It said on the paperwork that you filled out that you graduated from high school and that you got a full ride to ASU. And so what stopped you from going to school? You're not currently in college.
No.
Okay.
I didn't attend ASU and take the scholarship because I was unable to qualify for public assistance with childcare since my parents claimed me on their taxes, and because of their income, I didn't qualify and I can't afford to pay for childcare.
So if that all worked out and you qualify now for public assistance, would you like to maybe look at school, maybe not ASU full time, but a class or two here and there?
Yeah, I think it would be nice. I think it would help just with my motivation to better myself and to better my situation.
Okay. Well, I think we've talked about getting a car, getting a job, maybe even because you said light duty.
Yes.
So getting on, maybe seeing what your job has available right now, or I'm happy to look into some of the things and bring them for our next visit so we can discuss that.
Yeah, that would be
and
great.
Then maybe some classes for stress management, like mindfulness or like even like a yoga class or something, just to have some balance, some time away from the home. I'll also make sure to turn in paperwork that you came to the first meeting to the state, and I think that if you keep on coming, we'll be able to work it out. We'll be able to get you on your feet and get you all set up and everything. How does that sound?
That sounds good. Thank you.
So out front, if you want to schedule a second appointment, and I'll give you a call a couple days ahead of time.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
No baby today, huh?
No, she's with grandma.
Oh, how's that going? How's your mom?
Good. She's been very involved. She's enjoying spending time with the kids.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's great. That's an improvement.
Yes.
And what else? How's life with the baby? Another baby?
Yeah, it's good. Busy. She's growing fast. And so she's in daycare now, and that's going well. She's adjusted well to that. But things have been kind of hard with Catherine adjusting now that her dad is in jail, since they found out that he was the one that was the cause of the case being open. So now the case is closed, but she's just not adjusting well.
Yeah. Because visitation was every weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so she has a lot of questions and about where he's at and why she doesn't get to see him, and a lot of anger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure how to help her through that other than just trying to spend more time with her, which is hard with the new baby and having to work part-time now. So
yeah, what job did you?
I'm working part-time as an office assistant.
Okay, and you like it?
Yeah. It's not as demanding as my previous warehouse job was, so it's not physically demanding, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because I'm not super exhausted when I get home and have to take care of the baby.
Yeah. And so you mentioned that Catherine wasn't adjusting well. How is that? How are you handling that for yourself?
It's been hard for me just because I hate to see her so upset that she's not able to see her dad because she doesn't understand why, he's not around. And so it's had a little bit of a strain in our relationship because she's not wanting to listen as well, and she's just angry, and so it's been stressful for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's been hard too because I can't give Catherine as much attention as I would like to in this situation because of the new baby, and I think she's acting out because of that too.
Yeah. Well, I brought some resources for family therapy, just because I only do one-on-one. But our center does offer some family options. She's young, so maybe even she could do something one-on-one at first.
Okay.
But just as like a whole, because it's you guys went through some stuff, and just need to strengthen up that foundation a little, because I think it's hard for her to understand right now because she's just a kid.
Right.
And it's her dad.
Right.
And so.
And it was such an abrupt change. It wasn't just a gradual.
Right. So there's the phone number down at the bottom.
Great.
And then like a schedule of times when they have, since you work part-time, maybe it's a little bit more flexible.
Yeah.
And then the like options.
Great, thank you. I will definitely look into that. I think it will help her to talk to somebody besides me and my boyfriend.
Right. So what else are you doing? You're working?
Yeah, I'm taking a couple of classes at the community college. Also, I'm just doing some prereqs. I'm not really too sure where I want to go as far as a degree yet. So I'm hoping as I get my prereqs done, I can explore what I want to do. And then my boyfriend also recently bought a car. So it's only one car between the both of us, but it's been a lot better than not having any vehicle at all. So we're able to get around a little bit easier. We just have some scheduling things that we work around for that. And sometimes I have to wait a little longer to leave work and get the kids from daycare, but it's, things are getting better.
Yeah.
A lot better than they were a year ago.
That's 3 things off the list of goals. You said you wanted to go back to school. You're doing that. You said you guys wanted to get a car. You have a car and you're working, so maybe you guys could get 2 cars unless you like sharing. It's good family time in the car.
Yeah.
And a job.
Yeah. I think my next goal will be to get to save up some money and get us a second car, just so we're not having to be stressed about schedules and getting to it's how to schedule appointments for the kids and appointments for us here. And so I think that'll be kind of next on our list, is to save up money and get a second car.
Wow. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You've worked really hard. You've consistently shown up, and even when it was difficult and things weren't always going as planned, there's been a bunch of hiccups, a new baby, life transitions with your other daughter. you and your boyfriend have also like overcome some big things, and I'm really hopeful for you guys. How do you feel? Do you feel?
I feel okay. Obviously, I have the stress with Catherine and what she's dealing with, but I hope with looking into the family counseling or even counseling just for her that it will help make things easier for her. Also, so that she can bond a little bit better with my boyfriend as well. There's been some tension there. I think she's angry, obviously, because her dad's not around now, and she feels like he's trying to assume that role, which naturally I think he is trying to do. But I think my biggest concern right now is getting Catherine some more supports besides what we are trying to attempt at home.
Right. Yeah. Well, definitely reach out to some of the family offices downstairs. I mean, you've done great. I'm really proud of how far you've come. And so I think we can probably schedule the next 2 sessions out, and then that will be the end. Your case is closed. The state says that you're good to go. You're on your feet. You're really making moves towards setting some more goals and achieving those. How do you feel about just 2 more sessions?
Would it be possible to consider maybe having an extra 2 visits so that we have another month's worth of visits while I'm transitioning into getting Catherine some more supports and kind of navigating through what that process looks like?
Generally, I just do like the term of the case. But let me talk to my supervisor.
Okay.
And I will give you a call by the end of the day tomorrow.
Okay.
Just so that we can decide that. And so we'll just schedule the next 2 at the end of today, and then I'll call you tomorrow and we'll talk about the next ones after that.
Great, that sounds good.
Yeah, you've just done really great, and I'm glad to see that you're feeling good, that you're doing well, and I'm excited to see where you go next.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I will see, you can schedule out front, and then I'll see you next week or the week after.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.